Want help to grow your business? Download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.
Hi, I'm Dale Beaumont and welcome to Secrets Exposed. In this episode, we're going to share the story of how a 21-year-old raised $200,000 in 30 days through crowdfunding. That coming up in just a moment. Welcome to Secrets Exposed. This is a show where we take you up close and personal with highly successful business experts. And our topic today is a story of how a 21-year-old raised $200,000 in 30 days through crowdfunding. And our special guest today is Yvette Adams, and she was one of the people that assisted with this campaign. And she'll be sharing with us the story, and we're going to go through how crowdfunding really works. We're going to be chatting for around about 45 minutes or so. This means it'll be a deep dive into this subject. We're going to start with some of the basics to explain what it's all about, and then we're going to get progressively more advanced as we go through. And by the end, you'll have a complete roadmap of how to implement this strategy for your business. All right, Yvette, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So your company is called The Creative Collective.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about what you do and your involvement in helping the 21-year-old. His name is Jonathan.
Yeah.
Tell us about who he is and what you did to assist him with this venture.
Sure. So The Creative Collective is essentially a digital marketing agency. We started on the Sunshine Coast back in 2007 with your traditional sorts of services like websites and SEO, social media. But we're always looking for the next, marketing angle. And in recent times, we've really found a good niche with tech PR and crowdfunding marketing, among other things. So this 21-year-old, Jonathan Zuvella from Lithgow, New South Wales, approached us just 9 days before he was going to launch a crowdfunding campaign. And at that stage, he'd actually committed to a company in the States and who were specialists, total just crowdfunding. And he wasn't feeling the love. They were taking a while to get back to him and so on. So he hit us up. It was actually my business partner, Katrina, that first made contact with and said, can you help me? I need to launch in 9 days. And we kind of took a step back and went, that's pretty soon. What do you want to do? But we thought he had something, this kid. Like, he's 21. The product sounded cool. He was really organized. He already had a really quality video, a website and a brand. And we thought, yeah, we can work with him. So we went for it.
So we're going to talk about Jonathan a little bit more, and all throughout all of the theory that we're going to discuss today, we'll refer back to this example, and people kind of watching will be able to follow along with the story.
Yeah.
But let's first of all bring everyone on the same page. Like, what is crowdfunding? It's a term that wasn't really around 10 years ago, but we hear it a lot, especially with businesses that are starting up, or sometimes even established businesses as well now that are looking to launch a new product into the market. So what is crowdfunding? How did it come about?
Well, I guess from the history of time, people have ideas, right? And they want to get them to market. And there's lots of ways to get them to market. And in many cases, you need money. So you've got your traditional bootstrapping ways. You've got your traditional method of going out to banks and getting money. But I really, really like this method, crowdfunding, because you basically are going out there and not only potentially raising the money, but you're also getting feedback on whether people like it or not and what aspects of it they like. Because for me, marketing's been turned on its head. It used to be, I've got a product, I'm going to market, you will take it. And now kind of you have to consult with the market because people are much more discerning about what they like and what they don't like, and they will give you feedback on what that is. So crowdfunding for me gives you that platform to do that, to put it out there and say, what do you think? And get their feedback, get their questions, get analytics into the types of people who are clicking and buying and at what price point they'll buy, because even setting the price for a product can be really, really hard when you're launching a business.
So it's different to conventional ways of raising capital because normally you either have to give away either percentage of the business, equity, or you will have to pay that money back with a return to the investor. But this is completely different to both of those options, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So I guess it's almost making a promise and saying, I am going to go out there and I'm going to create this thing, whatever it is, and I want you guys to invest. And so you have to do all your forecasts, and if numbers aren't your thing, you might need a bit of help with that, and kind of put together packages and say, I'll sell so many of the product at this price, I'll do another level at this price, and I'll throw in these extras. So, you know, people throw in different colours or different features, or they might throw in sort of intangible benefits, like you'll be a VIP member of the band forever. There's lots of different ways that people package it, but those tiers are actually very important because you can almost play with the psychology of buyers on what you really want them to buy and what money you need to raise to create the product and what you think they will actually buy. So you can kind of, set all that up, but very carefully.
So we're already introducing some terms, which we'll get to in a
I
sec,
am. I'm
like
probably
things
jumping
like tiers and packages and all that
Yeah.
stuff, which is great. That's exactly what we're going to be talking about. But essentially, it's like pre-selling, I suppose.
Yeah.
Pre-selling your product, in some cases before you've actually finished building it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know you use the adage, and I certainly do as well. If the entrepreneur jumps off the cliff and builds it on the way down, well, if that's you, crowdfunding is perfect for you because take Jonathan, for instance. He had a prototype. He had been to China. He had found someone he wanted to manufacture it. He had patents. So he'd done a lot of homework, but he just needed the money to actually put the thing into production, because for a lot of tech products, you are looking at about $200,000 to do what they call tool it, as in create the first run. And that's quite a lot of money to invest. And then you've got the product, then you've got to market it and sell it. So if you can get some money up front to create it first and market it and have an instant audience, then you're halfway there of getting your business launched.
Okay, so let's quickly cover off the benefits. We've already mentioned most of them, obviously being money being the obvious one, getting feedback as well, developing kind of an audience, if people that'll buy perhaps other products that you're going to sell in the future as well. What are some of the other benefits of this strategy of crowdfunding?
Yeah, do people even want it? Like, if it's a complete flop, should you even be pursuing this idea? Should you go back to the drawing board, repurpose it, and launch it again? That's another option. Benefits, you can certainly get PR coverage. We got a huge amount of media coverage for Jonathan all around the world. So he basically has a captive audience now waiting for his product. Apart from those who were early backers and actually put money in, he's also just got people going, man, I missed that first, release, but I'm so buying that product when it comes out because I've seen it on this tech blog globally or online or TV or whatever. So, that's a great benefit. I think the insights as well, like getting to know who your clients are. You might go out to market and think, I think it's this, but the insights might tell you something very different. And depending on what crowdfunding platform you use, some will give you huge insights into, gender, location, age, interests and so on. But we used traditionally platforms like Facebook, which of course you can mine a lot of data out of as well, and then Google Analytics too. So you get a good sense of who's buying.
Okay, let's talk about some of the platforms that people are using to do crowdfunding. There's one I've heard about called Kickstarter, and there are, I'm guessing, others as well. So who are the main players out there? And then the next question is going to be, how do you decide which one is going to be right for your business?
Yeah, so I went and delved into this, and I think there's been mentions of crowdfunding, in the early 2000s, 2006, I guess you could say, crowdfunding was born. 2008, platforms like Kickstarter and IndieGoGo started coming out, and to this day, Kickstarter is one of the bigger ones. IndieGoGo is actually the one we did the campaign I'm talking about on, and it's a serious contender now, but there is swags of others. There's some that specialise in, say, raising money for the arts. There's some that specialise in raising money for sport or causes, causes that you're passionate about, whether it's saving animals or a disaster that's happened in Nepal or whatever it might be. I know a friend of mine, when he was unfortunately dying of cancer, everyone rallied around and on one of those platforms chucked in money for the family to help him out. So, it can be business things, it can be tangible things, but it can also be for causes close to your heart as well.
So how do you find all these different websites? I'm guessing it's just a matter of Googling crowdfunding websites.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you just check them out and find which one may be right for you, depending on what you're actually selling.
Yeah, so I think like any sort of online tools, the two pages I would be taking a really long look at is the features page. What features are you looking for? For instance, some of them allow you to create it on the platform, grab some really easy embed code, and then just place it on your website or in other locations.
Right.
So if that's something you really want, then you might pick a platform that has that. Others have really great social integration. So for you, getting this message viral through social is important, then you might pick that kind of platform. But probably the kicker is the percentages that you'll share. Each platform does it a little bit differently. I'm probably jumping ahead again, but the financials, of whatever money I raise, what percentage will I share with that platform? And some of you might say, I'm not sharing that much, that platform's not for me. Then you might look around and go, actually, that one's not too bad when you compare that. So features page is important, pricing page is important, and they all sort of price differently. So.
And why did Jonathan choose to go with IndieGoGo as opposed to Kickstarter? And is it better to go with a big one, and even though you might be quite specific, or is it better to go with one that's industry specific?
Yeah, good question. So Jonathan was pretty set on IndieGoGo. So I guess to some degree we sort of went along with his wishes, and in the time frame we had, we didn't exactly have a lot of time to go, right, let's research all the platforms and work out what's best for you.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, look, IndieGoGo is getting a real name for itself with the tech products, so it definitely was the right space for him.
Right.
We found it a fantastic platform. In terms of how you would choose others, I think, just research.
Okay, and can you put it on multiple different platforms at the same time, or do you have to kind of, pick a team and just stick with that one particular website?
I would advise to stick to the one because it's quite a lot of work, actually. You've got to monitor it pretty aggressively, so you don't want to have sort of scattered focus. And when people engage us to do the campaign for them, that would mean we're covering so much more.
Yes.
And we're not just focusing on that platform. We're looking at Google Analytics, we're looking at Facebook ads, we're looking at YouTube advertising, whatever different strategies we've sort of activated for that campaign. So there's a lot to monitor and manage and test.
To continue enjoying this presentation, download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.